Do you know about common lies about Machu Picchu? Did you know that Machu Picchu is an unfinished project and also that it wasn't called like that during Inca's time? In this video I will tell you what to see, how to get to places, but also common misconceptions about Machu Picchu. I'll also discuss the techniques that were used to build this incredible structure. And yes, it wasn't UFOs. Although definitely it's something out of this world. This and more in this video. So stay with me and remember to subscribe and comment. 3 best comments get magnets from Machu Picchu. So the journey starts at 4 AM and you are picked up in a car to get you to Ollantaytambo, and you will get there in about 1.5 hours. So you are ready for the 6 o'clock train ride. At 6 o'clock we're at the Inca trail station and it will be another 2 hours on the train. After the check-in, you are assigned to a specific letter. We had to follow letter F. And the lady, dressed in a traditional Inca suit, will take you to your carriage. Ours was carriage F. This is why you have to follow the specific letter, because it takes you to the right carriage. The views on the way to Aguas Calientes are spectacular, but because we have to get up at 4 o'clock, we've decided to nod off and sleep for a bit of that journey. We also got a little traditional gift. The best is to go for the 2-day journey, then you can start your visit to Machu Picchu early in the morning on the next day. We are in Aguas Calientes, gates to Machu Picchu. I'll tell you about Aguas Calientes in the next video, but now we're moving on actually to Machu Picchu. Also, 2-day journey gives you a possibility to buy a ticket for the better trails. We've decided to buy 2A as we've had only trail number 1 included, but it was definitely worth to wait and purchase a better option. As you can see, there was still quite a lot of availabilities, but remember that if you go in a high season, then you might not be able to do so, as the queues might be very long. Our queue was quite a short one. We've done everything in about 20 minutes. We've decided to take a bus with our guide, but you've got several options to choose from. You can do short Inca trail or long, which is 7 days trek. We didn't have enough time, so we've decided to go for the fast option, which was by train both ways and also by bus almost to the top of the Machu Picchu. So the only walking we had to do was in the Machu Picchu itself. From the time I remember, it was always a spot on my list. And yes, it's not possible to get inside without a tour guide. 700 types of orchid in Machu Picchu. So unfortunately, all of this is quite expensive. And the prices differs if you are a tourist from another country or if you are a local from Peru. For the tickets, we've spent $750, where the locals can get it for around $30. And it's not uncommon, as I've seen this practice also in Jordan. And I think that local people deserve an access to their culture for a lot less, because it's their heritage. Machu Picchu was definitely on my bucket list. So we were very happy to eventually get to this place. There is a lot of legends and untrue stories about Machu Picchu. So I'm gonna explain you how actually this was built. Every single block was chiseled, and there are a few techniques of how they did it. Inca's building style was nothing else but Inca's big Legos. Right behind me there is a Machu Picchu mountain, and on the other side, behind the camera, over there is a Llamas Picchu. The Machu Picchu name derived from the mountain back over there. Name Machu Picchu was used for over 100 years. It was given by Bingham in 1911. But this wasn't the real name of Machu Picchu. Some used to call them Llamas Picchu or Patayacta. But we are unsure which name is actually the right one. And this place was never lost, because local people knew about it. So, can we explain everything behind architecture and how Machu Picchu was built? Definitely not. Most of the things we can explain by looking how it was actually constructed. So it wasn't so modern as we think. you don't need modern tools to basically build it. It just took way longer time to polish them. They've been building it for 80 years, which is 3 generations of people building this only place. Some would say that the stone like behind me is impossible to move it, and they built around it to basically make a good foundation for the structures. How they actually manage to divide those big stones into the small ones. They've put a fire just down there, and the great heat made this very, very hot. What they've used is basically to pour the cold water over the stone, and the stone cracked in many, many different places. And this is how they basically got rid of the big stone, and this is how they've made smaller pieces that they can basically build up every single structure that it's here. And second way, by using wood. They've chiseled small holes in the stones, and they've put in the holes wood. They've poured water onto the wood, so the wood expanded and broke the stone into pieces. Was it the most effective way? No, but basically with the tools that they've had, this was the only way to do it. So it didn't came from somewhere up there, foreign or different civilization out of our world. Here you can see big rocks waiting to be carved. That's why we know that this place wasn't finished. It was still work in progress. Machu Picchu is unfinished because it was stopped by invasion of Spanish. If you want to find out more about the tools and methods, ask a bus driver to drop you down the bottom at the river, and then you can go to the museum. I will tell you more about it at the end of the film.
Byłem technik dzielenia kamieni. Było to, że podpalali kamień. Kamień stawał się bardzo czerwony, nagrzany i wtedy polewali go zimną wodą. On w wyniku szoku temperaturowego pękał na mniejsze kawałki. Tada, dziękuję. Katarzynka by mówiła.
So no drama, leave the drama for the llama. So what's the real story behind those rocks behind me, behind the wall, and how it was actually built? All those structures were chiseled, and how do they move all the big stones? Where the big stones weren't moved, they've built around the big stones. So all the big stones were used as a foundation. And you can see that method all over Machu Picchu, where the big stones are the foundations. And now we're entering the Temple of the Sun. The Temple of the Sun is unique because the sun was going through the specific window during winter and summer solstice. You might ask about the big beams at the top of the entrance and how was it possible to place them there. It formed a stairs with the stones that they put there, and then they pushed it step by step up to the top. Maybe they one step further. Incas performed advanced operations and also used advanced agricultural tools. You can see all the terraces around Machu Picchu that were used for crops, and also the places for the storage. They haven't used any nails. This was used as a crypt to bury high-ranked Incas. we are moving to the place where you will see the incredible precisions of the Incas building practice. Here is the main temple. Some stones have moved during the earthquake, but you have to remember that colonial building collapsed during the earthquake. More about it in an upcoming video from Cusco. Here also the big stones were already there and used for the foundations. Here is nothing else but an Inca compass. The tip at the bottom showed you the north. Here is a brief explanation of the methods. You can see that the holes were filled with smaller stones for the smooth look of the wall.
Very cool. Yeah, that's so cool.
And here in this wall you can see quite a lot of llamas. Here is one, and also here is the second one.
It's one of the llama. Machu Picchu has many more llamas and many more animals.
But those aren't the only ones. And this mountain is copied actually here. This is an altar to it. Machu Picchu is also the perfect viewpoint. The path to Aguas Calientes goes down there and across along the river. On every step that you go here, you see the precision. Just like here, where all the windows lined up. Here is another altar for the mountain. Condor, puma and snake were the Incas' sacred animals. You can see everywhere here that the big stones were used as foundations. Reconstructed. When it started to rain, we could see the irrigation system that started to work. We are at the end of our trip. It started raining, so we can observe actually how water is going from the top through the channels down to the bottom to the river. This is our last part around Machu Picchu, and we will take a bus down and walk around 5 minutes to the museum. Remember to tell the bus driver to stop at the bottom for the museum. We also decided to pop into the restaurant for the refreshments, and definitely recommend it. You have to go across the bridge and to the right. And after about 5 minutes, you will get to the place. The museum is just outside of Aguas Calientes, and it's on the way to Machu Picchu, where the Machu Picchu trail upwards starts. And also, with the Machu Picchu tickets, you've got it for free. And you won't be able to cross the bridge without the tickets to Machu Picchu. Also, from the same stop, you can go to Butterfly Kingdom. But that will be in the next video about Aguas Calientes. The museum is very small and you will need about 30 minutes in it, unless you want to spend more. I also recommend exploring Cusco because you will have the broader knowledge about Incas. And Cusco will be also in another video, so subscribe and stay with me for the next parts.